you today about the topic we are going to share. I was given this assignment by the country manager, Mr. Frank, during the meeting we had with the leaders, where VP Chene was, together with the gold business builders and above. And it came from an analysis which we made. And we realized that what happens is we are depending on one big presentation, right? Which happens here daily. But then we realized that the people who build very strong binary businesses, they focus on the number of what? Presentations. Are we together? So what you need to do is to find a way in which you can increase the number of presentations within your team. Now, these don't have to be very, very, very big presentations. They can be very small presentations, but they can even be one-on-ones. They can be home meetings, but they must increase. Now, some things happen that disrupt the normal way we have been doing things. I think before COVID-19, the way we did network marketing was a bit different. Then after COVID-19, it also became a bit different. But now that we are out of the pandemic, we need to distract the way we have been doing business so that we are able to change and reach even more markets. Are we together? It looks like most of the market we are targeting or that we have, by the virtue of our program, by the virtue of the way we are doing things, we can only target a full-time market. Are we together? But then there are also part-time markets. We seem to focus more on the people who can come to the presentation centers, who can come to Budo House. But there are also many other people who cannot do what? Come. So we need to just distract the way we are been doing business so that we're able to reach more markets. Okay, this is what I have to share. First of all, we have this introduction that says that if you want to see your income grow, then you need more presentation. This, of course, sounds very obvious. And we are saying that the more presentations, then more people see the opportunity. And when more people see the opportunity, then you have more sign-ups. When you have more sign-ups, more members in the team learn how to present. And then consequently, once more people learn how to present, then that equals what? Growth. Are we together? So it's a ripple with presentations happening consistently. They are called what? Presentations, not even just one presentation. So within your team. Now, of course, at different levels, we look at our business differently. Are we together? For example, Hamson, who was our top one of last month, when we say his business, he looks at it different, right? But then also, you who is new, you also look at your business what? Differently. But what is clear is that whether you are new or you have a big, massive team like that of Hamson, the number of presentations in your team should do what? Increase. The number of people who can present in your team should do what? Increase. That's what you should focus on. Actually, I think down the training, we shall say it's not about how good you are at presenting, but how good the people in your team are at being what? Presenting. I don't know if any of you has read that good book, the red one called, which has the napkin presentations on your life. Are we together? And if you have to read many such similar books, read First Year Network Marketing, many of the traditional network marketing books. While generally, for us, we talk about BOPs, presentations. If you notice, many books are talking about one-on-ones, home meetings. They seem to be focusing on small what? Presentations. But many people in your team doing what? Doing them. Now, I have just a few points to share, maybe 7. First of all, one big presentation versus many presentations. Now we are saying that smart leaders know that it's not about one big presentation, one big event that probably happens here. Are we together? Because I want you to imagine, if you're competing, how many of us want to become the top one of Okata? Put up your hand very, very high. Those of us don't want to become the top distributors. I think I'm speaking to the wrong people, right? But if you want to become the top distributor in Okata, and you see you have all put up your hands almost, right? How are you going to beat the person who raised the hand with you if you are all exposed to one big presentation at midday? Are we together? The one who makes more money in the binary or in the pair bonus generally has more presentations. I was studying Haja's business. She's been the top person in the pairing bonus for probably ever since we began the company. Almost each week, she's number one. But I also noticed that, generally speaking, when you look at Hajara's weak leg, the number of presentations in that leg are so many. Are we together? You'll find each week there's a presentation in Jinja, each week there's a presentation in the Arua, there's a presentation in the Bunia, there's a presentation in the Hoima every month. So with that kind of momentum built within how business or how we leg, definitely should be able to have more people signing up and should consequently earn more pairing what? Bonus. Out together. So number of presentations have to increase. It's about having presentations happening all the time. And this one is, we are not even just talking about the structured presentation like the one we are doing, the one we do at midday. But we are talking about many unstructured presentations. For example, in people's living rooms, in cafes, Zoom calls, office spaces, or anywhere where people can be able to what? To meet. If you've looked at Jalia's, I don't know if she still has that picture, Jalia's, what do they call it? Her story. Are we together? You see that some of the presentations that, and I think I was in that presentation, were at someone's sitting room. Are we together? You can have a person who has signed up, maybe they live in Tinder, you tell them to invite their neighbors, go with a flash disk, connect it to their TV, the one in the sitting room, and you do for them a what? A presentation. Are we together? And then, but now if you can do it for them, it means that how many more people have signed up within your business that week whom you can do 4 home meetings. You know what I'm talking about? We are soon launching what we call the Get Started Right and Strong booklet. It's coming, and we printed it from China, but it's coming. I'm told last week it was in Mombasa. And in that booklet, we highlight several meetings. We talk about the BOP, which is the big presentation. We talk about the home meetings, which is the all home launches, which is the one you do at people's homes or in a cafe, or think about a boardroom of some hotel. This is the person who has signed up and invite only their key friends, and maybe you present for them, or you're down and presents for them. So having more people presenting basically. Now, we are saying that think small, but think what? Often. Now, I'm not saying you should lower down your dreams. Are we together? I'm talking about us having so many small presentations happening within your team. I want you to imagine that everyone who is signed up within your business, and that's how we built, honestly, that's how I built the Visionaries team. That's how many of these companies that came before COVID, like the Forever Livings, the JNODs, the QNets, some of these really great companies that we admire. There's some of these Asian companies. One of the key things that was very clear is that the leaders invested a lot in what they call one-on-ones. Are we together? One-on-ones. There's even a company called, I think called Toastmasters. These ones who sell, Ruth, there are these people who sell cooking materials, like they sell saucepans and what have you. You see, and it's a very, very successful company. But what they are doing, every time they are doing demonstrations in people's what? Homes. Are we together? Now, such a company could actually expose more than us who are on a meeting for one big what? Presentations. Because you are meeting at customers' convenience. other than people meeting at our own what? Convenience. So I want you to distract the way some of us are doing the business. So one-on-ones. I want you to imagine that everyone who joins within your team can get that presentation guide of Okata and can present with it. If I am a student at a university, I am presenting. I'm an engineer at a construction site, I am presenting. I am a doctor in the hospital, I am presenting. I am traveling on a bus or an aeroplane to Chisoro, I am doing what? I am presenting. So more people are showing the plan to so many people. Instead of focusing a lot more on more people having to call people to do what? To come here. Are we together? And then also, of course, the big presentations are important. We shall keep on doing them and we are going to keep on keeping them. But generally speaking, those ones provide the social proof. But there's nothing that beats those small presentations that you do because they are more personal. Small good presentations. I expect one of the first investments all of us should have is a laptop and a what? And a projector. When I was at university, I remember doing presentations in people's halls. Are we together? I would go maybe to a hall, and then of course maybe someone has signed up. They invite their neighbors, and we do for them what? A presentation. Now, because they were so small, I was doing it. My downline was doing it. Another one was doing it. Another one was doing it. So eventually, we have more people exposed to seeing the what? The presentation. Are we together? So small group presentations. Daily OPPs, of course, like the ones we have, Zoom sessions, and a product what? Demonstrations. Are we together? And also, much as we are doing these company Zooms, the one that Jimmy does, still those big ones are generally for social proof. Are we together? You can also do as many Zooms as what? As possible. Right now, at about 11 after this training, I'll be doing a Zoom for someone in Tanzania. Are you together? Just a Zoom of 3 people. Yourself, the person who invited the person, and the guest. Now, when you do for them such a Zoom, and then afterwards you invite them to the bigger Zoom, they understand the business better than someone seeing the big Zoom for the very first what? Time. Because here they can ask questions. Now, the other one is we shall talk about the numbers game. We are saying that network marketing, your income is the direct proportion to the number of exposures you and your team do what? Create. Now, first of all, one of the key things, whether you are new or you are not new, is that always it is you and your, you see, you and your team may not be the presenters of every day here, but you and your team can do so many one-on-ones. Now, we shall also talk about the law of averages, which talks about 2 things. The first one is that it suggests that if you talk to enough people, the results will show up, even if they are not perfect. Are we together? So, and by the way, statistics show that more sign-ups come from 1-month-old distributors than from older what? Distributors. Do you know that? Statistics say that the more people who join us have been signed up by people who are newer than from old what? Old people, because they're excited, they have a warm market. So the moment in your structure, it is designed in such a way that when a person joins, do for them a very good orientation, but ensure they know how to present with that magazine. Are we together? Or with a laptop. Then you're going to have more people signing up. Secondly, some people will say yes, some people will say no, but numbers never do what? Never lie. Now, we're also going to talk about that. What is your job as a leader? Your job as a leader is not just to do presentations. Your job as a leader is to multiply. Can you say multiply? Can you say multiply? Multiply the presentations. You should not be the only one who is presenting. You should allow your downlines to go and make mistakes. And many people have joined out of these seemingly imperfect what? Presentations. Are we together? I told you of a story of how I joined, and for 1.5 months, I didn't have anyone joining me. Then there was a lady called Julie. She came for the presentation the very first time. She saw it and she went back. And then that evening, me had failed to sign up a person for 1 month and a half. But this person saw the presentation during the day, and by evening, they had someone's money. They had a sign up. Do you know why? What sells to people is not necessarily the facts and the figures and what of you, but it is the what? Excitement. And someone who is new, who has just joined the business, generally has natural excitement. Are we together? So number of presentations is what you should focus on as a leader. Not perfect presentations. Sometimes people invite people and they say, I brought a big fish, or everyone can what? Can present. Now, point number 3 is building a presentation what? Culture. A presentation culture. A presentation culture is what you and your team can what? Can do. If you meet many old school networkers, they will tell you that what all these people had was a what? A presentation what? Culture. I've been writing a book, but I failed to finish it, which really just tells the story of how I built my business. But when I was building the visionaries, and many of us, some of us definitely were there, is that we really did a lot of so many small presentations. You'd find some people have gone to Chisubi, others have gone to Entebbe, others at university, others at Chambogo, others at everywhere. There was a time whereby every weekend almost all these hotels were booked by different people, different sales. Are we together? You find one sale is at Triangle, another one is at maybe, for example, one of these hotels here. There's a hotel called Jakiba, Jim's team used to like it. Another one is at this one here of Indians, Emerald Hotel, another one. So that kind of thing, number of presentations. Others have gone to Mitiana, others have gone to Guru, others have gone everywhere. So number of presentations in your team is what is most what? Important. Now, so we are saying that if you want a fast-growing team, you must create a culture where presentations are happening everywhere, every day. Everywhere, every what? Every day. Anyone who is within your business, maybe there are people at the ministry, there are others in the corporate world, there are others who are teachers. Just make sure that all of them can show as many presentations as what? Possible. One-on-one, small groups, 3-way calls, but number of presentations is very, very what? Important. And just again, to emphasize it, is to make sure that every downline of yours who joins is empowered to do short what? Presentations. They're empowered to do short presentations. And that means training your team on how to present. Of course, that's one of the key skills. I know that many teams are training their people on how to invite, but train people on how to invite, but also train them on how to present. You should find pride in knowing how many people in my business can do their own presentations perfectly. Are we together? Now there, you are beginning to become very successful as a leader. Teaching them how to do one-on-ones confidently, giving them sample tools, simple tools, like presentation guides, the slides that we normally have, videos, and again, I've said it's good to invest in projectors. There are small portable projectors, there are big projectors, but make sure you have presentation tools. Providing venues and the meeting points, it's also very important, like booking hotel rooms, encouraging Zoom calls, not just the big Zooms, but the small Zooms that everyone in your team can easily be able to create a Zoom link and can share it and can present. You know, some of these things look very obvious, but our teams are not doing them. They are depending on what's generally organized by the bigger what? Team. Are we together? But this can be done by you and your team. Then point number 4 is investing in presentation tools, which is very important. And maybe one of the biggest, the first investments any leader should do is to invest in presentation what? Tools. Once you invest in presentation tools, your team will invest in presentation tools. They will know that's not rocket science to own a projector. It's not rocket science to own a laptop to do these presentations. Investing in presentation guides, making sure that they are available. There's a team under Hamson. There's a guy called Kato. Kato, he's one of the guys to watch. What they did, they even organized their own booklet. They saw the one for Okata and felt it was too big, too bulky, and they did their own. Very small book, very beautiful book. Do you have a copy, Hamson? You have it? If you have a copy, you can bring it in front and, I show these people. So you can invest in your own tools, really. Are we together? But what is important is that invest in projectors and laptops for outreaches, presentation guides for one-on-ones, and professional pictures to make your story slides. Invest in professional videos to sell your story. You've seen the video that Farida did, very powerful video that she did. You can also create your own. You can create sample products for demos, invest in sample products for demos. One of the key things that I think I've told you before is that many people, anyway, you already know it, that Africans, our eyes are where? In the hands. Are we together? These things of going to present to people and you're showing them pictures in the magazine. Are we together? They don't want to know. They want you to go with actual what? Product. The moment you have an actual product, most likely people will do what? Will buy. So invest in sample products and join this 500 CV club. Printed brochures, price lists. These ones you can be able to do them still for yourself. Or there are those ones that the ladies have. Immaculate has one of are available. Presentations can happen. Time, as long as the tools are what, and I think that is very, very what important. Okay, speaker training inside your team. This is also very, very important. How we've done it. Okay, first of all, do not just rely on one or two presenters. Are we together? Everyone in the team should become a presenter. I think there's a script which I did, and I said that there are 3 people involved in your business. The first person involved in your business is the company. The company has its roles, am I right? Which is provide products and what of you and really do what they can be able to do. Then there's your upline, who also has a role, am I right? Then there's also your role as a what? As the downline, as the business person. And I think I mentioned that one of the obvious roles is that you as a person who has paid your money, 550,000 or 5.5, you have a responsibility to learn the products. You have a responsibility to learn how to present the what? The business. So there are some responsibilities you have. And for sure, one of them you cannot say, pay all that money you have paid to be part of Okata. And then you all the time. I think that would be very wrong. So your team should be a factory of speakers. The more people who can confidently share the opportunity and the products. Are we together? And you can also, you can do this by doing several things. Number one, running speaker boot camps inside your team. I know that Frank and Jimmy the other day organized what they called a speakers training. You can also organize a speakers training within your cell. Are we together? Then the other one is that letting new members co-present with the leader until they have become what? Confident. Are we together? We call it this one role plays, whereby you say everyone turn to your neighbor and present to them. Then the other one also presents. So you do it over and over and over again until people have become confident about presenting the what? The business. Then giving short segments to different members during the presentations, which I think we're already doing. Someone doing the company profile, another one doing the product, another one being the MC, another one giving a testimony. Then the more presenters you have, the more presentations can happen at the same time in different what? places. Are we together? So the pairing bonus is really about having more people. Now, I want to introduce a new program that was proposed by the leaders. They support it. And now, what we have been doing right now, we have been having one presentations every day. At what time? At midday. Are we together? We are saying, I just that there's a market segment that the midday presentation is not necessarily addressing to. There's a market segment. First of all, for now, but maybe from Monday, so we shall give a week for people to adjust a little bit. We shall have 2 presentations every day. Is that good or good? Is that earning 100 million in 1 year and 1 month? But what happened was we had a small training center, almost as small as this hall here at University Plaza. But time reached and we're doing 3 presentations.